Hello and welcome to Distant Whispers, where stories find you. This is a channel for people who like to read and write short stories that have an unusual or unexpected ending, sometimes even macabre and scary. If you enjoy these stories, please make sure to like, share with as many people as possible, and don't forget to press the notification bell so you get notified as soon as any new content is uploaded. If you have any stories that you'd like to share, either real or something that has crossed your own imagination, please send it to the email on screen, and if we narrate your stories, we will give you an on-screen caption credit for your efforts. Now let's dive straight into this episode. The mockingbird lullaby was circling his thoughts. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. It echoed through his mind like a twisted dream. He could still hear it, the way his father used to sing it. Off-key, too slow, and always after one too many beers. There was never any warmth in it. There was no cradle, no comfort, just menace. Stupid song, he muttered as the cashier handed him his change. She smiled genuinely, like someone who still believed that life was mostly good. It was the kind of smile that always unsettled him, but he did smile back, automatically. It was a reflex and not a feeling. Her name tag read Sam. A boy's name on a girl? That prickled under his skin. It was unnatural, off balance to him. He had promised himself that only girls would be part of his plan. Simple, predictable, and structured. But he could be flexible, just this once, just to see what happened. He looked at Sam again. She was still smiling, completely unaware of his thoughts. Those pearly whites won't look so straight in a few days, he thought to himself. It had all started a few months ago in Ramsar, Johannesburg. It was in the early hours of the morning that a news report played on TV. A serial killer was making his presence felt in Cape Town, and the media had dubbed him Dr. Splatters. The murders were brutal and chaotic, and all the victims were university students. The police investigating the case were desperate to make sense of it all. They looked at overlaps, class schedules, student groups, and faculty suspects, but there was no pattern. Everything seemed random, and that was the beauty of it. I could murder someone every day and never get caught, he thought. I just need to keep it random. So random that even I don't know what's next. The idea of murder hadn't come from nowhere. It wasn't the first time he thought about it. It began years ago in the silence of his childhood home. It was never a peaceful silence. It was the other kind, like a breath being held too long. His father was a failed pastor turned warehouse foreman who ruled the house with scripture and spite. His mother? She was always turned away slightly, as if shielding herself from life, or from his father. When he was 8, he had found a bird with a broken wing, soft feathers. It was barely moving, and he tried to save it. He wrapped it in a sock, fed it crumbs, and gave it water, and whispered lovingly to it. His father found him holding the bird, and without saying a word, crushed it under his boot. That night, he sang the mockingbird lullaby again, beer trailing from the corner of his mouth. The boy never cried again after that. Not once. While the newsreader babbled on about exchange rates and oil futures, his thoughts turned to ritual. All he needed was a calculator, a coin, and dice. His first kill had to be nearby, he thought. A local, a misdirect, and he chose the Cradlestone Mall. It was a clean, modern, and cheerful shopping mall, a place where mothers sipped lattes and children shrieked in fountains, a place where death didn't belong. This made it perfect. He parked his car, opened his calculator app, and closed his eyes. Children ran through jets of water in the midday heat while mothers chatted under the umbrellas. He tapped the screen 3 times. 1, 2, and 7. He got out the car and walked. He counted off the steps. 1, 2, 3, 127. He stopped. There was a linen store to his right and game on his left. He flipped the coin. Tails meant left. Straight into game he went. Inside he passed toasters, kettles and batteries. While he's walking down in front of the tellers, he dropped a dice. 5. Teller 5. And there she was, Sam. She had a red polo shirt and was wearing black fingerless gloves. Bit of a rebel, he thought. She moved with her wheelchair like it was a part of her. Confident, efficient, smiling and happy. This is not what he had pictured. Certainly not the wheelchair. But this wasn't about type. It was about the process. He smiled at the thought. Then he erased it quickly. There was no room for fantasy, and dice don't feel regret. He followed her for weeks, watched her eat, pump petrol, and help her sister with groceries. She was predictable. Sam lived with her younger sister, Amaya, and their parents had died in the same accident that had paralyzed her. Sam had been driving. She had just turned 18, her license was new, and the road was wet. And she made a bad decision. But she rebuilt everything. She finished matric, took accounting classes at night, and worked retail during the day. She oozed quiet resilience. He had made up his mind. He knew what he was going to do. It was so easy these days. Anything, and he meant anything, can be bought with cash. He found a seller who didn't ask questions and bought a 2001 Kia Picanto. It had no plates, no trace. It was a ghost car. Once he knew her routine inside out, he chose the day and followed her down the Krugersdorp Hill. As she approached the Silver Star Casino on her right, the road curved slightly left, steep and smooth. She drove with care, and he edged closer, just enough to rattle her. She checked her rearview mirror and saw a car too close. Her hands jerked. Tires screamed and metal shrieked. The Hyundai broke through the guardrail like paper and vanished into the ravine. He watched from the hilltop, where enduro bike riders liked to pause and rest. He had sunglasses on and his expression was blank. The paramedics moved slowly. There was no need to rush, she was already gone. The irony of it all was, she died just 300 meters from the Medicross clinic. As he watched the scene, a white Golf GTI crawled past. The driver snapped a photo. Rubbernecker probably, he thought. Still, next time, wear a cap. He patted his pocket where he had his phone, coin, and dice. Where would fate send him next? What he didn't know was that Sam had in fact noticed him. 2 days before the crash, he had filed a quiet report with mall security. There's a white guy, tall with a hoodie. He's got light eyes and he keeps appearing at my till. He dropped a dice once. I think I've seen him at the coffee shop too. It could be nothing, of course. Just trust your gut, right? That report still sits in a drawer, unread and forgotten, for now. In a quiet room, he opens his phone, taps the calculator app, 043. He flips the coin, heads, and drops the dice on 6. He breathes in. He never chooses, the numbers do. And tonight, they whispered 6. Hush, little baby. That's it for this episode of Distant Whispers. Once again, if you enjoyed the content, please be sure to like, share with as many people, and subscribe. And don't forget to press the notification bell so that you're notified as and when new content gets uploaded. Until the next episode, keep those whispers real.